Updating your CV. A lot of people look at me strangely when I say this. But wait, I'm here for 4 years. Yes, you are. Right, or however long the DA program is. I would like to suggest that you should have an updated CV on hand at any point. You do not know when interesting, exciting things are going to happen in terms of your career. And often they happen at inconvenient times when you're not ready or you weren't expecting it or them. So this is one of those things that I would love you to think about doing, but I'm trying to think. I'm thinking. Is it one of those do as I say, don't do as I do? Because I'm trying to think about me and my career. But no, I think actually I have been quite diligent with my CV, even when I'm in role. And that is to make sure you're updating your CV as you go. Now, earlier on, I was essentially pleading with you, saying, please, would you track your success? Because it's very difficult a year or two or more in when someone says, or when you're required to show what you've learned, what you've done, right? It's difficult if you haven't been making a note because you're doing so much. CV is related to that. I didn't want to cover it too much on that, track your success. The CV is important as well. Why? There may be a requirement or a request for you to join a project. That project might be an important one. The individual running that may say, please, can I see a CV? There may be a specific job opportunity that pops up. Yes, you're going through your DA, but people like me will get in the way. And what we mean by that is saying, oh, no, they're really good. I want them to do this. Oh, yes, but they're doing it. Okay, they can keep doing the DA, right? Do that on Friday or whatever day it is, right? Or days. But I want them to do this for me, right? So if it's career progression and if it will often have me going, yes, but can I see, send me the CV. Look, we know it's you, but send me the CV because it's the right, because we were required to do this. Or HR wants to see it. So it's good practice to update your CV as you go. Set a calendar entry. Look, I know I might sound a little bit parenty here. It's a good thing to do. It's good discipline. It's also very useful, I think, to reflect. So if, for example, you agree that you set a calendar and entry and you update your CV every 2 months, every 3 months. In fact, I quite like the idea of every month. Calendar it with your mentor. If you have a mentor, and hopefully you're having mentoring sessions regularly, right? Every month, for example, every 2 weeks, for example, calendar it. And I've done this quite often, especially with graduates, where I say, bring your CV. And of course it does, until I've explained, a lot of graduates go, what's wrong? They get worried. I say, no, it's because it's the right thing to do. Let's have a look at your CV. Let's make sure we're updating it. And that's where you're going through and thinking, there's only 4 points. Okay, well, can we add a 5th? Actually, we can. Okay, from what 5th bullet point can we add? Let's have a look at our success, right, criteria. Let's have a look at our tracker, our success tracker. Let's have a look in our skills roadmap, where we can go tick, so we can now, okay, we want to evidence you have now presented in front of the divisional director. Great, what were you presenting? Okay, let's make that bullet point. Get that bullet point in. Great, because that's now, the minute you've done that presentation in front of the divisional director, you've increased in CV points, right? Imagine it like a computer game where you go, right? You're leveling up, okay? So how we evidence that is on the CV. So I'm thinking of my son and his fortnight, his fortnight levels, right? I think it's quite a healthy approach to be updating your CV on a regular basis. It's useful to then reflect on that, tracking your success, and then pulling out the things that you've done and get them down in the CV. But at the same time, sitting and looking, working with that skills roadmap with your mentor, various different mentors, and saying, now look, I haven't done any presentation skills yet. I haven't done any presenting in front of anybody yet, like apart from my line manager. Great, we'll put it in as a to-do. Discuss this then, right? Go and speak to your line manager. Say, hey, look, I've got a gap here. Do you think, can I speak at the next meeting? Yes, of course, right? So now you're leveling up, but you're doing it deliberately because you've said, no, I need this, I want this. And that, I think, fundamentally, that's what I would love to see from people's career development, right? Is them being now we were in control, okay? Now your line manager will, hopefully willingly go, let's take a step back, and Bob here, Jane here is now going to present, right? I've asked Jane and Bob to present. Over you go. On you go, Jane, right? And then Jane or Bob, you stand up and go, right. The minute you finished, CV point, okay, you've now presented. Look, I'm just using this as an example here, right? But these kind of things, being intentional about it, will really help you drive your career development forward, and then being able to evidence it both in your own personal tracker and then your skills roadmap if you're going to do that, right? And then the output of all of that is then your CV getting better and better and better and better, and that's what we want. What we don't want is what I am encountering on a regular basis are DAs that I'm meeting just going, oh yeah, it's not really going very well. Why? And it's just a feeling, because nothing is written down and nothing has been looked at and regularly tracked and so on. So, all right then, update your CV. I think it's important. Now and again, you will have a requirement to send it off to someone. Now, I'm talking internally here, but we keep an open mind. I think you probably want to complete your DA process, but there may be some inquiries coming, from others, from competitors, from other companies that want to hire you or would be interested in you. It's useful to make sure you've always got an updated CV across your career for that purpose. Okay, let's move on.